based on storylines only, which was your favorite territory to work in? Which, based on response, not money, was your most successful feud? So, two questions there.
Hmm. Uh, Based on storylines.
So yeah, let's start there. He asked, based on the storylines, which was your favorite territory to work in? So you had some great stuff in Mid South, but man, a lot of the stuff you did in WWE is phenomenal. You and as we've talked about, Tommy Rich, some really good stuff. So you could go a lot of different directions here if you
Yeah,
had to pick one.
uh, um, golly. Um, I would probably have to say, because it was most memorable for me, was that, I had been a babyface in Mid South from the very beginning. And I had left Mid South and come back to Mid South. I was still a babyface. But when I turned heel on Junkyard Dog,
Hmm.
that was probably, in terms of uh, drawing and money making, for territorial wrestling, that was the best. I mean, that's my heel turn on JYD. I'm like, oh my gosh. I can
Hard to
remember.
beat.
I can remember. I think I told this story, but I think I remember telling the story that I went to Grizzly Smith, who was the guy who was like the agent. He showed up at the show in New Orleans, and it was specifically New Orleans because the crowd in New Orleans was about 90% black, and they loved JYD, right? And they, up until that time, they had loved me. So I told Grizz, I'm not driving my car to New Orleans. He said, why? I said, because it'll be on blocks, or it'll be torn up, when I come out. And he says, okay, I get that. He says, well, you ride with me, I'm neutral. So I rode with him. JYD and I go out there, and of course, we do, he just beats me from pillar to post, and the crowd's going wild, and I slip in and load the glove and knock him out, and we'll see you next week and draw another crowd. And so I go back, and I'm showered up and everything, and Grizz comes walking in the dressing room, puts his hands on his hips, and he's looking at me and just shaking his head. I said, what's wrong, Grizz? Just shaking his head. I said, something wrong with the match? He said, the match was great. I said, so what's wrong? He said, they slit my tires. All four of them. I see. I said, they only slit your tires. I said, if I'd have driven my car would have been on blocks. They'd have taken the tires.
So you kind of answered his second question there, because the second question was, which, based on response, not money, was your most successful feud? So I would say that, if you're inciting a crowd to put,
Yeah.
slash people's tires and beat up on cars, that's a pretty successful feud.